The back glass of this device is made out of a frosted glass. The back being cracked, we cannot use a suction cup to pull the back cover of the device. These are the tools that I'm going to use to perform this back replacement, and the camera glass also is broken. We have an exposed camera here that we need to cover before we start removing the back. The double-sided tape that Samsung use on the S22 series is stronger than the S21. So we need to start by heating the back cover of the device with a heat gun. If you do not have a heat gun, you can use a regular hair dryer. It is going to take a little bit longer, but it's going to work also. The repair difficulty of this back glass replacement on a S22 Plus is 5 out of 10. It is not really bad. All of you can do it. The cameras have been protected by adding a piece of tape right before we start removing the back glass. I started with a guitar pick. It didn't work. The glass is really strongly glued to the frame of the device. So I decided to use my green scalpel to have a small opening at the bottom of the device, which is going to let me slide my other tools. After I widen that gap, using a sharp metal tool is always going to work, but we need to be careful because we do not want to scratch the frame of the device while trying to create a wider opening. You need to apply some upward pressure while sliding your metal tool. That is going to minimize very much the amount of scratch you can leave on the device. The type of glass that Samsung had used on the S21 and S21 Plus are kind of strong, but when it breaks in all the ways. The frosted glass that Samsung has added on the S22 Plus, when it gets cracked, it creates a lot of small particles of cracked glass, and this is something very annoying while trying to repair this device. Well, I cut myself while trying to cut something. You need to be very careful if you choose to purchase a green scalpel for your repairs. This blade is ultra sharp. Careful. Back to the repair. I started to use my flat metal tool at the top of the device, top right of the device, and I needed to hit the device again because it had cooled down. Trying to slide your plastic tool or your metal tool if the device had cooled down can be very difficult, and this is the best opportunity to leave some scratch on your device. So like I always say, if it gets difficult, reheat the device a little bit and continue working on your device. The right side of the device has been completely freed, so I decided to insert one of my plastic tool as a placeholder on the right of the device. That is going to help me remove the other side of the broken back glass more easily than if it was not there. Even while sliding my guitar pick from right and left, it creates a lot of small particles of glass. To avoid that, you can use some duct tape, but make sure that the tape that you use is heat proof. A heat resistant tape is going to help you more than just using a regular tape. Also, while inserting another plastic tool as a placeholder, make sure that you look inside and you do not touch any flex cable or anything that can be damaged or create an issue while inserting that plastic tool. My guitar pick has been slid on the right, left and top of the device. I didn't slide my tool around the camera area because at this point we can just start to pull the back glass by using brute force, and that is going to help us save a little bit of time, but we need to be a little bit careful to not scratch or touch the cameras. Depending on the amount of heat that you exerted on the device, this process can be sped up. The removal of the back glass can take you around 5 to 7 minutes. You do not have to do it in 5 minutes or 7 minutes. You can take as much time that you need to remove it safely. The back glass of this device is out now. We still need to remove the flashlight. The flashlight is on the motherboard. This is only the plastic covering that goes on top of the flashlight and help diffuse the light while taking a picture or video using a flashlight. This component is made out of plastic exclusively. If you apply too much force on it, it can break and you will have to find another flashlight plastic covering. You can and you should use a little bit of heat from the outside of the plastic covering. That is going to help you remove it faster and more easily. Make sure that you do not apply too much heat because this is soft plastic and it is going to melt if the heat is too much. Before we install the plastic covering of the flashlight, we need to clean the device. After you have removed the broken back glass, you need to inspect your device. Inspect the frame of the device. Make sure that no double-sided tape is on the device and remove everything. Gently tap on the back of the device to remove any small debris, any small particles that are on the cameras. If you do not have anything on your cameras, you do not have to do this. The camera glasses on the back of this back cover were broken. The camera on the center was clearly exposed and anything could have fallen inside the camera hole. What you need to do before installing the new back glass is to test the cameras. Test all your cameras, test all 3 cameras and make sure that you use all the zooming point of your cameras. Make sure that you do not have have any focus issue, and you do not have any issue in general with your camera app. Here everything is clear. We can move on the installation of the new back glass. At first I thought this was the back glass that we need, but this is for the S22 Ultra. I'm going to do that next. This is the new back glass that we're going to install on the S22 Plus, and as you can see, this is a good quality back glass. It had double-sided tape all around the cameras, and also the double-sided tape that they use is gray. This is almost the same spec as the original double-sided tape that was on this device. Before you install your back cover, you need to apply some pressure around the double-sided tape. Make sure that you exert some pressure on all corners of the back glass to help your double-sided tape to stick more onto the back glass, and then we can move on to the installation. There is a first green film that we need to remove. Try to remove that green film slowly, because if you pull it too hard, it is going to remove the real double-sided tape green film that we need to remove at last before we install it. Another small round of pressure on the back glass. We need to install the plastic covering of the flashlight next. I'm going to use B7000. This part can seem to be not important, but if you do not have enough B7000 on the flashlight plastic covering, if your device gets into water, this is the first place water is going to enter and damage your device. Use some tweezers to hold the flashlight cover, and then apply a little bit of pressure to install it inside the flashlight cover hole. If you do not have tweezers, you can apply the B7000 directly on the back glass and then install the flashlight cover. These are reinforcement double-sided tape that the supplier of the back glass gave me. This is very thin. You may have this double-sided tape or you may not. It is not mandatory to install those. We are ready to install the new back glass. We need to remove the protecting green film out of the back glass. For the installation, I always advise to start with the camera bezel. The camera bezel is made out of aluminum, and it is going to be easier to start with the camera bezel rather than finishing with the camera bezel. Align the camera bezel with the back glass. Apply 1 or 2 pressure with your fingers, some pressure on all 4 corners of the device, and then you can start to apply mass pressure on all corners of the device. This is going to help your back glass to stick more onto the device, and it is going to increase the longevity of your device. Next, we need to install some clamps that are going to apply some constant pressure. If you do not have these kind of professional repair clamps, you can use some clamps that are used to bind papers together. Usually you should leave the clamps on your device for 5 to 10 minutes and the device is going to be ready for use. Let's remove the protecting film on the back of the back cover and see what we have accomplished. Thank you my Airstechs for the support. Like and share to your friends. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. The device is new now.